Barrister, let me ask you, as Nigeria's content creator economy grows, do you think regulators will begin enforcing stricter rules around digital content production?
Oh yeah, I mean that's a very interesting conversation. I mean, given the way the digital age and content creation has grown, because we look at it from 2020, we had lesser content creators, but post-COVID, post-2020, that's about 6 years today. We've had more content creators than we used to, and then it has now generated more legal issues where you're dealing with AI, deepfakes, misinformation, doxing, bullying, stalking, defamatory comments. People I would say they are basically abusing their freedom of expression just because they want to create content, right? So I came across a new phrase that is in line with what is actually going on, and it's called the panoptic content, or known as creep shots content. You now have glasses that come with cameras that give people access to record you even without your consent. Okay, so two major cases that have put this conversation in everyone's view is first the Russian case that took place, the Russian blogger issue that took place in Ghana, where he was recording females in Ghana without their consent, and then in the UK there's an investigation being carried out by BBC, where men are wearing these lenses, camera-fitted lenses, and recording people, especially females, without their consent. So the conversation is now, where do you then draw the line with surveillance, right? Because I'm not asking you to record me, especially where you now have to involve, say, a child or a teenager. We have laws for that, where a child's rights is supposed to be protected, especially when you are putting on content online. If that is not regulated, we're going to have issues where trafficking will be happening in our presence and we'll not even notice that such things are happening. So yeah, there's need for us to start regulated. I think one of the issues that we may end up facing will just be enforcement, especially when it has to do with like cross-border related issues as it applies to trying to enforce the rights of the victims or data subjects when their data, such as their image and likeness, have been put online.
Okay, now how do you think content creators can balance spontaneous social media content with the legal requirement for consent?
Okay, I know that with I mean we now have information at our fingertips, right? So a quick Google search, not looking at the AI overview, a quick Google search or engaging a lawyer that is versed in data protection or IP related or digital media rights conversations is like the first thing you need to do. Ensure that you get consent from the people that you want to take a picture of, or you want to create content around. Get like a release or consent form, have them sign up, but it has to be time bound. You can't use it in perpetuity, it has to be time bound, right? Ensure that your content also sticks to what the Nigerian Broadcasting Commission Code talks about. And also, I know that the Film and Censor Board now includes kids as part of films or content. So you also need to stick to whatever requirements that the agencies need for you. And now that the Data Protection Commission is now talking about issuing, ensuring that content creators comply with the Constitution, which grants everybody the right to dignity and privacy. It's now on content creators to be more attentive, right, to what is happening around them, find out what the trends are, what the government wants. You may feel like the government was trying to tax you. No, it's just so that you comply with international best practice. So, for instance, you see countries like Denmark and Ukraine come up with laws to protect their own citizens so that someone does not misuse their images, their likeness. So they have a law for that, but we do not expressly have such provisions. But we have laws that make provisions for protection of privacy and also protection of your content, right? The fact that you create your content means you own an IP. But where the line now where the lines then meet, where privacy and IP meet in the middle, you now have to find the balance where the people or the person whose face or image is being identified in the video is comfortable. And you also need to give them the options to either delete such content to access such content. And if you know that you're actually going to be making money off that content, it's only right and fair that you make a fair offer to the person in question. You also need to be transparent in your dealing with the person. Just basically ensure that you're not doing anything that the law will frown on
In
later on
60
if you decide
seconds,
to do
Barrister.
Oh,
Okay, in 60 seconds before we run off. Now, do you think
yeah.
this regulation would change content creation entirely in Nigeria?
I believe so because I mean, if you don't do it, how else do you want to move on? We have to be. I mean, we are considered to be like the giant of Africa, right? But if we're not leading and setting the pace, how then do you then want to actually commercialize and put out your content out there that can be approved? Because you have instances where investors might want to buy into our local content, but because they're not in compliance with what the international best standard is, that will not be a barrier to you scaling up or getting like a good deal for you and your team who are helping you create that content. So yeah.
Barrister Rita Chinda, thank you for joining me on this segment of the show.
Thank you so much, Mr. Paul. Have a good afternoon. Bye.